John Turzynski, thank you for joining us. First impressions of your panel session, how do you think it went?
I think it was very interesting. Lots of different views, but hitting some of the things that are facing us all across Europe and actually wider afield as well. Some very interesting points about governments in places like Spain, but also the approach of the more Scandinavian consultants as well. No, I think it was a very valuable session and brought up some very important points for us.
So what sort of things do you think are going to be challenging the market in the coming years?
Well, clearly the issue of commoditizing of the work that we do, which we've been facing for a number of years. I think all of us are seeking ways to move away from that, and to me that's about a relationship with clients. Quite often we very much focus on the projects, the detail of the projects, but of course the projects with clients in different ways. So that's where I think our focus in the coming years has to be. I think the threat of technology, we've heard about that both in the session that I was in, but also prior to that. Technology is available to everybody in a number of respects. I think people make a mistake about the application of technology in what they call design, but actually I think design is a more intelligent process, a more creative process. And while someone did note that that's the upfront part of work, that doesn't mean to say we can't be intelligent and use technology in the more downstream side of work in a more effective and clever way. I think the other thing to mention, and actually the word hasn't been said a lot this morning, but the world of BIM, which is still probably somewhat misunderstood in a number of places, but looking at the projects that we do from inception through to design, construction, operation and reuse, information management is an absolute priority. And I still think we've only just touched the surface of that because we're still fairly early on in the process.
So talking more about the conference broadly now, what have you been impressed with so far, and what are you hoping to hear more on for the next day or so?
I think the people who attend they're clearly getting senior members of leading European and other consultants and engineers is proving to be very valuable, because we're getting insights from the top levels, and we should listen to those, the lessons learned, that kind of thing. In terms of moving forward, I go back to clients. I think we're going to have some interesting sessions on what clients expect of us and our response to clients. That's certainly something I'll be personally very interested in. I think taking the temperature across our different businesses, but in very much the same way, and getting that feedback. We all take away things from these conferences back to where our day jobs, as it were, which are valuable for us in thinking about our futures. Actually, in a quite open way, it's quite interesting also to see what the competition's up to.
So if you wanted ACE to take away and work on anything, and a few things maybe over the course of the next year, what would they be?
I suppose one of the interesting comments that came out is talking about what we do more as a business. I would translate that in, as I said before, into working with clients. Yes, we're not charities. We're not there just to give away our services. And a number of conversations I've had with other people, it's trying to turn our reputation around so that we can move the way that we're remunerated on projects with clients in a way that represents what we're doing, to change the shape of this world that we live in for the future. And the difficulties of having had that undermined to some extent over the years, and the surprise that people who come into organisations associated with the ACE from different parts, different sectors, and finding it quite shocking that we've fallen so far behind the lawyers and the medical world and people like that.